Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we will be discussing about what is Python indentation, what is Python comment. So first we are gonna start with what is Python indentation and how we can work on Python indentation in Python 3. So let's see. Now we will be discussing about Python indentation. What are Python indentation? Basically most of the programming languages, like we can talk about Java, C++, C, they use curly braces to define a block of code, but Python use indentation. Let me just give you an example. Suppose in Python I'm just creating a variable, just a random variable, and I'm just using just after using colon I have entered and it gave me an indentation. But in other languages like Java or CC, we for defining a body block we need to use curly braces like this. Then in this we can assign whatever we want to assign, like we can assign num equal to whatever we want to assign. But in this in Python we gonna assign values, like we're gonna assign body block in any function or in any class with the help of indentation. Like I'm gonna show you an example of simple loop, like for I in range 5, print I simple. So if I'm gonna run this, first of all let me do one thing. We should run this. As you can see, we have 0 1 2 3 4 5. So now you will say that why it didn't print 5 and why it is printing 0. So this is the hot topic which for on which we gonna discuss in future videos. So for the time being, our main goal is to see how we can mention the body block into a particular function or loop or in any class. So in Python we can simply provide indentation to represent the body. So basically, what is a block body? It is a body which is defined in a function in a loop, which starts with an indentation and end with the first unindented line. What I am trying to say is like this: end with this first indented line. The amount of indentation is up to you, but it must be considered consistent throughout that block. Like if you are giving only three, like you if you are giving four blocks, like I'm gonna tell you 1 2 3 4. If you are giving four spaces for an indentation, then it must be consistent in all the rows. Like you can't assign like this, like you can't print something on this one, like you can't print something on this one, then you are printing something. It must be consistent, it must be in the same line, it can't be changed, so it must be in the same line. Basically four white spaces are used to be said as indentations in every scenario in Python. So now the indentation in Python makes the code block neat and clean. So if you are giving a proper indentation in a particular program, then you are making your program, or you can say you are making your code look neat and clean. So this results in Python programs that look similar and consistent. Indentations can be ignored in line continuation, but it always a good idea to indent. It makes the code more readable. So what I am gonna talk about is, like we have been working on this thing. If I'm gonna just simply use this, and I'm gonna write 10 plus 11 plus 12. So if I'm gonna print this variable which is in curly braces, now I'm gonna just run this. So it will give us a value of around 78, this one, for this. And you, as you can see, there are no rules for this, like how we are giving the indentation, that it should be in the proper scenario. We can't change it, like right now we are giving at this position and here we are giving at this position. In line continuation there is nothing like we have to give a continuous indentation for every line. And we can ignore indentation in line continuation, but it will be a great idea if we always use a indentation rules and regulation, that we should use this approach if we are using 4 lines indentation, then we can use it in every line, same indentation approach, because it makes our code more readable. Like if I am using, like if I am mentioning some conditions, if a equal to 5, then simply just give a break. What is this? We're gonna discuss about it. Just look at the main goal which we are talking about right now is the indentation part. Don't look what I am coding right now. It will be a complicated for you beginners, so we'll discuss about this in future videos. First we are just focusing on to a single scenario right now, what are indentation. So if I am gonna run this, so basically if we another programmer will look at your code, he or she can read your code easily because it's more readable rather than there's I can say there's another approach for it, like um, what I'll be saying for I in range 5, print I, print I 10. So rather than this approach, this is more readable. So that's the main goal why we use indentations, but both are valid and do the same thing, but the former style is more clear in this first approach rather than this approach. We also gonna run this to look at the result. Look, both the results are same right now. This is for that one and this is for last one, complicated approach, but this is more readable, so we should always use this approach to make our code look more readable. So now we gonna talk about Python comments. If you are from previous language, then you know what are Python comments. So like I'm gonna just tell you the basic story of Python comments. Comments are very important while writing a program. They describe what is going on inside a program so that a person looking at the source code does not have a hard time figuring it out. In Python, we use the hash symbol. We basically use this symbol to comment something or to start writing a comment. It extends up to the new line character. Comments are for programmer to better understand a program. Python interpreter ignores comments. So what I am trying to say is like suppose you have defined your name, Vinny, but you have defined it for some table implementation or some other kind of stuff, but you know about this why you have declared this variable, but now other programmer is reading your code. Now how he'll understand that what this basically variable name do? So for that we gonna define comment by simply putting hash. We gonna define name variable is just for explanation purpose. Okay, so this is the thing for which we use comments generally, and while running this code, Python interpreter automatically ignores this commented line. It does not mention it while executing, and it will just, if I'm gonna print this name, so it gonna just ignore commented line and it will print rest of the lines, like it printed that name variable. So for this we use comments, and there's another approach which is multi-line comments. What are multi-line comments? Basically we have comments that extend up to multiple lines. The only way to use the hash symbol at the beginning of each line. So basically what I'm trying to say, if you are using multi-line comment like this is my name, this is my age, so these are the multi-line comments. What you can do is you can simply put hash. You can make them a multi-line comment by this, but there is another approach. This will be the hardest approach because right now it is looking simpler, but just imagine if there is a comments for 1,000 line of code. then what you will do, you're gonna just simply put a hash in front of every line. It gonna make your code little bit tough for you. So there's another simplest approach which you can do is you're gonna just simply use either triple quotes or either single quotes. So in this we can simply define, this is my name, this is my age, and if I'm gonna just simply run this, so it will be giving us Vineet only. There's not a different approach, it is not giving an error, because basically Python interpreter is just ignoring these lines. And you can mention as many as line you want, you can mention as many as line you want, it will not give you an error. Like if I'm gonna run this, like you can see it is not giving an error. So these triple quotes are generally used for multi-line strings, but they can be used as a multi-line comments as well, unless they are not docstring, they do not generate any extra code. So there's a word which I mentioned recently right now is docstring. Basically, what are docstrings? So we're gonna discuss about this also. A docstring is short for documentation string. So it is a short form of documentation string. Python docstring are the string literals that appear right after the definition of function, method, class, or module, or variable name, whichever you want to use. Triple quotes are used while writing docstring. So I'm just gonna give you a simple example. So like I'm just gonna create a function. Don't look at how I am creating a function or what I am doing right now. Topic, just focus on the particular topic what I am doing right now. So I'm just gonna create a function with the name. So I'm gonna assign it num, and basically I'm gonna just return it with square of num multiply with the double value of this num, and I'm just gonna simply call it name. So what it will do, let's see. So basically it just given us the function object of the function. It is the object of the function because we didn't define any value to it, so it is just giving us an object. But now if I'm gonna use dot doc, this is the best functionality of PyCharm, that it just give us the result by writing only simple single value, like it is showing dog, dict, dir, defaults, deleter. It is showing a lot of things. So I'm gonna use doc. Now we're gonna see what it will show us. I'm just gonna simply run. It shows us nothing, none, none. It is also a keyword which I have told you in previous videos. So it is defining, it is giving us no value, so that's why it is just returning none to us. And now docstrings appear right after the definition of function, class, or a module. This separates docstring from multi-line comments using triple quotes. So this is the only difference between multi-line comments and the docstring approach. The docstring are associated with the object as their doc attribute, so we can access the docstring of the above function like this. Like now this, I'm just gonna simply copy this and I'm gonna just write the copy this code. So as we have seen that it is not returning any value, like it is just giving us none after we have mentioned name dot doc, because in this function we didn't define any doc string, so it is just returning simply none. Now in this function I'm gonna just simply make a doc string. So what I am gonna do, I'm just gonna use simple triple quote string, and I'm gonna use function to define docstring. Now I am gonna use print name dot doc. Let's see what it gonna give us. Like we have seen for this code, the value is none. Now we have defined docstring, so it is giving us function to define docstring. So this is what we gonna discuss about docstring in this tutorial. So that's the only basic thing you need to know about the doxing. There's no other mess combined with this doxing that you should know about. So this is the basic approach. So in this video we have talked about what are Python indentation, what are Python comments, how we can make a difference between multi-line comments and doxing, because these both are written in the same manner. So we have also seen the difference between them. So in this tutorial we're gonna discuss about these things only. So we'll be meeting in the next tutorial, and in the next tutorial we will be discussing about more things which are included in Python 3. So stay tuned with this series of Python tutorial. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Till then, take care and have a good day. Bye.